right, this next mod that we're going to do is we're going to be removing the factory Xterra roof rack, and we're going to be installing a UpTop Overland Bravo roof rack. We're going to start the project outside. There's a chance of rain, but I did clear a space we can roll in there. Everything's all wet, so we'll have to go in there to probably do the sealant detail around the screws, and we can start here. This is the packaging. I went out and actually toured their facility, top notch. They got great equipment, great customer service, great people. I was actually gonna pick this up, but they shipped it anyways. But their shipping's free, so we're gonna open this up and see what we got. Show the packaging because it's well done. Got the spray foam in there, kind of to keep everything protected. There is a strap here in the center. Get that loose. There's one of our bars. So we're gonna get this stuff all out and see what we got. Probably stop on this for just a minute and go out and take that off. All right, it looks like we just have a bunch of Torx, and we're gonna use a T30. I hope that all I have to do is just take all these out. I may go look and see if there's some instructions before I get started, but just gonna use the drill or the driver with the T30, and then we'll pop all these out. But I'm gonna go check the instructions real quick. The very first one I went to take out, these are just, I think they're called rib nuts. This one just spins, so hopefully it'll just pull out. I don't know. I'm hoping I don't have to use that one again, so we'll see. Yeah, that was absolutely horrible. I sawzalled, ripped everything off. This is a joke. Went really easy on some. This whole side, every single one of these I ripped out. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of the rib nuts to put back in. They sent me 6. So I'm off to Lowe's. I hope you have better luck with these. That was terrible. So I've got most of the stuff unboxed and separated out. It's very well packaged with the foam. Everything's marked, which is awesome. Every part that you're gonna need has a part number on it. That part number is in the extremely well done installation instructions. So just pick a part. Like this one here, you can see 2305P. That is a focus 2305P. That's passenger side front foot. And then these installation instructions are just top notch. Several pages. Doesn't look like they've left anything out. Nice, easy to understand drawings and part numbers. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, see what we have to do. First, we've got to repair, thanks to Nissan's bad design, like this hole. I'm actually gonna go with a bigger rib nut in here. I'm gonna put that in and then try to flatten that out. We'll see how that works. Slowly getting everything in place. Got the front 3, and now we've got to do a little repair work, and then the back 3. So here's kind of what happens. These stayed in. We've got one to repair there. Most of them came out like this. So fortunately, these mounts are large enough that it covers everything. What I'll do is I'll hit this around the edge with a hammer, just slightly bend it back, and then I'm putting on a silicone over around that and setting that in a bed of sealant. And then I'll have one more to do up front, and then the 4 across the front, I'll put sealant across over the top of those because they're going to be hid by that front wind flaring. We've got all of the mounting attachments on. They're all loose, so we're going to move on to the next step, which is assembling the crossbars. So this was step 2 is what I did. We've got the green areas where the foot will directly contact the roof, the green areas. Orange is where we're going to have a spacer, so we put those spacers in there. And then the red are holes we're not going to use. We just put the applied bolt or supplied bolt in there and then sealed over that with silicone. We also sealed every one of these areas with silicone too. And then the red ones, there's a bag called rack to roof. Use those screws. The orange ones, the spacer. So we're moving on to step 3, which we have got all of these parts on the vehicle now. We do leave out the front 2 screws, fasteners there. These are great instructions. So step 4, we're gonna grab, we're gonna read this first and then we'll go from there. This is step 4, so you need to read everything before you get started. And this is what I really like is we've got the feet to load bar bag of hardware, which is the foot to load bar hardware assembly. One of the things in here we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of the screws out that are supplied with this, and we're going to add the VC3 thread compound to each of the threads on the bolt, and that's going to set for 30 minutes. So that's this whole tube of stuff here. We're going to go ahead and get those prepped, and then we'll move on to something else for about 30 minutes. Space here for this. There's quite a few of these, so you'll just add the thread locker on and then let it set. Tedious. There's probably a better way to do this, so I'm gonna try to figure that out. Comments, how would you do it? I got the crap all over my fingers, but it's done now, so we'll let those set. I'm actually gonna move them out of the way and we're gonna go into another step. So I've already started this, but you've got 3 of these fasteners and you wanna make sure you leave them loose because you're going to slide this crossbar into this connector, and it's a little hard to do with the camera in hand. Okay, now that I've got those slid in, I'm going to measure from here to here and make sure they're equal on both sides, and then I can go ahead and fasten these down. All the 3 crossbars in, and the bolts are still loose. We'll move on to the next step. Okay, we're on to step 6. So that is going to be putting the crossbar clamps in the 4th load bar on the front. And I believe we have everything ready for that. We've got our screws. Here are the parts. As you can see, one's going to go one direction and the other one's going to be on the face. So I'll go install these and show you what it looks like. We got the front bar in place. All the bolts are still loose. So we're going to move on to the next step. We're on to step 7. And that is the side pieces. So rack body side. I've got those over here. Got to get them off of the out of the wrap, and we'll get one of these up on the car. That on. Obviously, I need to make a few bar adjustments, which I expected. That way I can get this nice and straight. I'll get a straight edge and run down this. And I'll get both sides evened up, but this is kind of first look of the first side going on. Got the other side on. Once again, I'll have to make a lot of adjustments. As you can see, it's not straight, but we'll do all of that here at the end, I guess. So step 8 is pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna run all the remaining crossbars, which there are 4 more. And we're gonna do the same thing because we'll have to make the adjustments here in a little bit. We have all the crossbars in now and a ton of bolts to tighten up, and gotta get this all aligned front to back. It's definitely too far to the on the driver's side in. I'll have to push it over. But I'm gonna get everything straightened up and see what the next step is. It's me, or the instructions, but I went ahead, because it said to put all the bars on. I didn't have these in, which was easy. I just took the 2 screws out and slid those in. And now we're off to step 10. So step 10 is this bracket. I already have it out there. It's got a couple bolts, and it's going to go down into the car itself, where you left that first one out. So go do that next. Bottom Allen head bolt goes into the car, and you can see the backup on that. We'll line all that up and put the screws in there, and then we'll go to the other side. All right, step 11 is just getting everything lined up. So I've kind of done that already. I'm gonna do a few measurements. There's quite a few, lots of stuff on there to get tightened up. But once I get everything plumb level and square, I'll tighten all the bolts and we'll work on the windscreen. Just finished up step 11, which was tighten everything up, center the rack. Step 12 was putting in the front windscreen. I did not put the orange part in because I am going to try to mount some lights up there. Just not now. That's it. So here it is. Looks pretty good. Got everything lined up. Still have a few accessories. There's some handles that come with it. There's these little sections here that you can cut that little piece out, and there's a thing called a scene pod. And there's a BD design, like a rock light that goes in there, which I think I'm gonna do 2 of those. I'm not gonna do them yet because I'm not exactly sure what side I want them on. But yeah, it's really nice. There's the plug for the light, so I've got a place for lights already. Just got to figure out this front piece here, how the lights will mount, but thing is sturdy. A lot of work. Probably took, with all the issues from the existing hardware, I'm gonna say this was about a 5-hour job. So if your top would come off easy, you could do this probably at least an hour faster. Assembling this is easy. It's just getting everything lined up and all the holes. And I had to insert several of the riv nuts. I think back here on the back, they make a little chase light piece. I may put that in, I don't know yet, because I'll have to see how my rooftop rack mounts and how much space is left there. So yeah, this is the UpTop Overland Bravo on the Nissan Xterra. Dramatically changes the look of the car and allows for secure mounting of a rooftop tent. So excited to get that rooftop tent mounted and figure out what kind of lighting we're going to do up front. If you like the content, please like and follow. I'm Trail Exploration on YouTube and Facebook, and it's nomadic.overland on Instagram. Thanks.